delicious. It's got all the things that I like. It's got the duck in it. It's got the curry flavours, which are quite savoury. And it's got the mango just to sweeten it up a little bit.
Nice.
I think you're going to love this one.
Oh, do you?
I think so. Now, what I'm going to do is start with some duck legs. Now, there's 5 people in my family. I've got 3 young boys. And so what I've got is 5 legs here. But you can put in as many legs as you want. Or you can
Well,
do
I could use turkey or something like that, couldn't I?
fake meat. You probably could use something like that if you
Yeah.
want. But I would not recommend it because it doesn't taste anything like meat. And you'll be disappointed, trust me. You could use chicken if you wanted to. You could do this with pork. You could do this with just about anything you want.
Yeah.
I mean, and the cooking time would vary. I mean, depending on what you're cooking with. Chicken's a lot quicker. But duck legs, they'll take about an hour and 45 minutes, an hour and a half to cook, nice and
And you
tender.
just want to make sure you get the best quality as well.
That's most important. Quality is what it's all about. Even when it comes to, what's that thing, tofu that you like to cook with? There we go.
Love that.
Good quality tofu. I've never heard of that. But what I'm going to do is put some duck fat in there because duck fat is what gives it so much flavour. Look at that. Beautiful duck fat on the side there. You could use olive oil if you want, but I'm loving duck fat at the moment.
You could use coconut oil perhaps as well.
You could, and that would be a great way of adding flavour to this. It is sort of a tropical style curry, so coconut oil would be fantastic in there. Now what I'm going to do is pop the legs into my hot pan here, and these legs will sort of brown off on the outside. Now Rosie, what I'm going to get you to do, turmeric.
Oh, my favourite anti-inflammatory, yeah?
It is, and the trick with turmeric is it does stain your fingers and get them all nice and yellow, so the good idea is to give it to someone else to do. Now, I've got some garlic here. What I'm going to do is just smash this garlic here and give it a really sort of rough chop. I'm using my double pan method, my patented double pan method, where I seal off everything in one pan and then I pop it into the other, and that way I can get it done really quickly. But if you're doing this at home, what I would do is seal off the duck legs in the big pot, take them out, put them on a plate, and then you get everything else going, your onion, your garlic, and all the other bits and pieces. Look at this. So what I'm going to do is slice this onion nice and fine all the way through. You can leave it chunky if you want because it's going to cook for a fair amount of time. So if you do leave it chunky, it'll sort of just hold together.
Yeah.
But I want everything to be nice and fine so it actually falls apart in the sauce. And what I'll do is I'll chop this one up here. 2 onions or a whole onion or 2 halves of an onion. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of duck fat to my pan here. Hopefully it's not too hot. There we go. The thing about duck fat is it does hold quite a high temperature. So it's great to cook in. And if you are cooking things like when you're rendering down the duck legs, you might want to save that duck fat for cooking later on.
Because of course quite a lot of fat does come out of the duck, doesn't it?
It does. Quite a lot of fat does come out. So what you want to do, if you can save it for cooking later on.
Sure.
My nanny used to have lard, a little lard pot in the corner. She would always put it in there and she would cook everything with lard. And that's why everything my nana cooked was so delicious. And I can only attempt to get anywhere near her. Now some salt goes on there and the duck legs, I make sure I put some salt on the underside as well, or the undercarriage or the underbelly of the duck, and some pepper on there as well. Now these are browning up beautifully. Now what I want to do is with my wooden spoon, I just want to keep an eye on my pan here because I want to sweat that down.
Smelling good.
It's smelling great, isn't it? And what you can do is just turn that around. And I'll give you a little tip, Rosie, if you wanted to, you could actually just do this, grab a bit of the duck fat and put some of that in there as well as it's rendering down. And then
You wouldn't waste any of that, would you?
I would never waste a single skerrick of duck fat. You can be guaranteed of that. Now what I'm going to do is add the ginger and turmeric because I want that to sweat down in with my
Probably
onions and
two
my
of
garlic.
the greatest superfoods that ever did exist right there.
There we go. That'll that. So everything. This is a healthy meat dish as well.
Wow, we'll see what happens.
It's very healthy, trust me. Some mango powder, which gives a lovely flavour. Some garam masala, a mixture of a whole lot of different spices, and every single family has their own little mix. It's just ground up.
Gonna give it that nice curry taste.
Exactly. I've got some chilli here, some whole chilies. I'll just break them up and throw them straight in like that. All I need to do is give that a little bit of a stir around. When you put the dry ingredients, they will stick to the bottom a little bit. So what I do is I just keep turning it around so it doesn't stick too much. Now I've got some cardamom pods. I love cardamom, got a great flavour to it. Now what these will do, they'll pop open as I fry them and all the little black seeds will go through it. And they give it a really sort of sweet flavour to it as well. Now this is fenugreek, which often you'll get it in the seed form, but this is the leaves and it's got a great flavour to it. It smells like sort of tea almost.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm a big fan because actually if you drink that tea, you can have the tea. It's very good if you have a bit of an upset stomach.
Great.
Just in case.
Cures your upset stomach. Fennel's also good for that apparently. I mean, you were telling me that as well. Now I've got some curry powder in here. I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of good curry powder in here. This is where I get the curry flavour from. Now over there I've got some mango. If you can take the mango, and what I want you to do is take the cheeks off and cut them into cubes. so that I've got mango to go all the way through it. And what I'll do is I'll just stir that around here like this. Now, my duck will take another minute or so to cook. This will sweat down for a minute or so. You'll be chopping up the mango. We'll add a little bit of coriander to it, and we'll be able to put this together and make it delicious.